Early reader. Horrid Henry's Nits. Francesca Simon. Chapter 1. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Dad scratched his head. Stop scratching, please, said Mom. We're eating dinner. Mom scratched her head. Stop scratching, please, said Dad. We're eating dinner. Henry scratched his head. Stop scratching, Henry, said Mom and Dad. Oh, said Mom. She put down her fork and frowned at Henry. Henry, do you have nits again? Of course not, said Henry. Come over to the sink, Henry, said Mom. Why, said Henry. I need to check your head. Henry dragged his feet over to her as slowly as possible. It's not fair, he thought. It wasn't his fault Nits loved him. Henry's head was a gathering place for nits far and wide. They probably held knit parties there and foreign nits visited him on their holidays. Mom dragged the knit comb across Henry's head. She made a face and groaned. You're crawling with nits, Henry, said Mom. Ooh, let's see, said Henry. He always liked counting how many nits he had. 1, 2, 3, 45, 46, 47, he counted, dropping them onto a paper towel. It's not polite to count nits, said his younger brother, Perfect Peter, wiping his mouth with his spotless napkin. Is it, Mom? It certainly isn't, said Mom. Chapter 2. Dad dragged the knit comb across his head and made a face. Said Dad. Mom dragged the comb through her hair. Bletch, said Mom. Mom combed Perfect Peter's hair. Then she did it again. And again. And again. No nits, Peter, said Mom, smiling. As usual. Well done, darling. Perfect Peter smiled modestly. It's because I wash and comb my hair every night, said Peter. Henry scowled. True, his hair was filthy, but then. Nits love clean hair, said Henry. No, they don't, said Peter. I've never ever had nits. We'll see about that, thought Henry. When no one was looking, he picked a few nits off the paper towel. Then he wandered over to Peter and casually fingered a lock of his hair. Leap! Scratch, scratch, Mom, squealed Peter. Henry's pulling my hair. Stop it, Henry, said Dad. I wasn't pulling his hair, said Henry indignantly. I just wanted to see how clean it was. And it is so lovely and clean, added Henry sweetly. I wish my hair was as clean as Peter's. Peter beamed. It wasn't often that Henry said anything nice to him. Right, said Mom grimly, everyone upstairs. It's shampoo time. Chapter 3. No, shrieked Horrid Henry. No shampoo! He hated the stinky, smelly, horrible shampoo much more than he hated having nits. Only today his teacher, Miss Battleaxe, had sent home a knit letter. Beware! Nits, 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 nits have been seen in school. Get rid of them. Wash your hair with supersonic NIT blasting shampoo please, or else. Naturally, Henry had crumpled the letter and thrown it away. He was never ever going to have Pongy knit shampoo on his head again. What rotten luck, Mom had spotted him scratching. It's the only way to get rid of nits, said Dad. But it never works, screamed Henry. And he ran for the door. Mom and Dad grabbed him. Then they dragged him kicking and screaming to the bathroom. Nits are living creatures. howled Henry. Why kill them? Because, said Mom. Because, they're blood-sucking nits, said Dad. Blood-sucking. Henry had never thought of that. In the split second that he stood still to consider this interesting information, Mom emptied the bottle of supersonic nit-blasting shampoo over his hair. "And no," screamed Henry. Frantically, he shook his head. There was shampoo on the door. There was shampoo on the floor. There was shampoo all over Mom and Dad. The only place there was no shampoo was on Henry's head. "Henry! Stop being horrid," yelled Dad, wiping shampoo off his jacket. "What a big fuss over nothing," said Peter. Henry lunged at him. Mom seized Henry by the collar and held him back. "Now, Peter," said Mom. "That wasn't a kind thing to say to Henry, was it? Not everyone is as brave as you." "You're right, Mom," said perfect Peter. "I was being rude and thoughtless. It won't happen again. I'm so sorry, Henry." Mom smiled at him. "That was a perfect apology, Peter. As for you, Henry," she sighed, "we'll get more shampoo tomorrow." "Phew,"